Hey, this is LeAnne with the Expert Real Estate Team. So today I wanted to go into part 2 of my dementia series that I had gone through. So in the first part we learned about the early stages of dementia and kind of what you can expect. Let's take a listen to what I learned in my second class. So in my second class with Kelly Harris at Cascades at Verde, which was wonderful by the way, we continued learning about our dementia and what's going on with our family member that we're caregiving for. So this first slide I want to show you will talk about some of the common issues that will be coming up. So they're not going to want to go to the doctor. They'll make phone calls, a lot of phone calls, repeated calls, bad mouthing you to others, making up stories, resisting care, making 911 calls, getting their day and their nights mixed up, being rude, undressing, being threatening, shadowing, meaning following you around very closely. So seeing things, hearing people. So this is as the dementia is progressing. So just some things to be watching out for. So now one thing I wanted to go back and amend, I guess you would say, with my last video. I've told you about Teepa Snow, who is, I guess, a nationally recognized caregiver and knows lots and lots about dealing with folks with dementia. So this particular slide with the URL on it is a video of her kind of showing how to handle and deal with someone with later stages dementia. The first video URL that I had given you, I believe, may have been it was really neat video of experiencing dementia. She had gone through a simulation of what it's like for folks with dementia, so you can kind of learn what it's like. It was really interesting. So it's putting on some big goggles and some gloves where your hands feel sticky. So a lot of neat things to kind of give you an idea of what that loved one is going through. So I may have gotten them crisscrossed, so I wanted to get that straight. But be sure to watch this one video with Teepa Snow and a lady trying to, she's shaking a maraca at chairs, and just how she's dealing with it, the things that she does to get her to stop shaking the maraca at chairs, because you can imagine that's pretty annoying. So, and how she's replacing it and gently, saying, let's do this, just other things that she can do. Folks with later stages of dementia, the last memories to be made are generally the first ones to go. So things that happened yesterday and last week, they may not remember, but they remember things that happened in their childhood or 20 years ago very clearly. The same is true with the brain. The last parts to develop in the brain are the first ones to go. And once we understand that and what to expect, we can help. This has to deal with the limbic system and the cortex. So this particular slide tells you, again, the first to develop to the last to go. So that would include impulses, hunger, thirst, movement, sleep, the things that your body knows how to do automatically. Those are the last things to go. Conversely, the last things to develop, you're knowing how to, control your impulses and turning your mouth off when you shouldn't say something, your decision making, those are the first to go. So when you think about it and dealing with someone with dementia, it makes a lot of sense, because that person does lose the ability to have the filter to not say something, and does tend to throw tantrums and get irritated really quickly. And then as things progress, the body begins shutting down, and that's where, you know, they find it hard to go to the restroom. They find it hard to know that they're thirsty. So things like that. How can we help? Educate yourself, which is what you're doing now. The more you understand how and what's going on in the brain and how things are changing, you learn what helps and what harms. So use a positive approach. Offer assurances, create meaningful activities, do the things that they enjoyed doing, you know, as they were coming along. Of course, keep them safe. Another thing that I learned in the dementia class is to approach someone with dementia slowly. Come at them from an angle. If you come at them straight on, according to Kelly, that is a threatening way to approach someone. Smile. This is keeping, I think, because of their vision, approach them with your hand kind of up near your face so they can, you know, help them focus on who's talking to them. Kneel beside them, get on their level if they're sitting, and use a hand under their hand. Don't put your hand over theirs, because that will make them feel like you're pressuring them, you're being controlling. So you want to be supportive in this situation. So nonverbal clues you can do: smile a lot, have a pleasant tone, speak louder and clearer, and wait for a response. Sometimes when my husband asks me a question, just because of the way MS has affected me cognitively, I'm thinking about things. So they have to have time to think about things and process things. So offer assurances. So driving changes, that will need to be a discussion that you'll have. So just everyday frustrations. And again, go back to meaningful activities. If they enjoy gardening or taking a walk, helping them sweep or dust, or, you know, do ordinary things, but involve them. Even if they might be making a mess, involve them. Never argue with someone with dementia. You just end up in a big tug of war, and they end up frustrated, you end up frustrated, and that doesn't do anyone any good. So that's the end of part 2 of our dementia seminar. Part 3, I may include 3 and 4 together because they are relatively short. So at any rate, I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something out of it. I know I did as I went through it. It was an eye-opener, and I hope it's helpful for you. Thanks so much. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to giving you more content.